Here's your 10-minute YouTube script. Have you ever felt like your dreams are pulling you in one direction, while responsibilities are dragging you in another? It's a common struggle, especially when you're on a path of spiritual growth. Understanding the interplay between your subconscious, dreams, and the structure of reality is crucial for navigating this journey. Today, we're going to dive deep into the fascinating world where idealism clashes with pragmatism, exploring how to balance emotional expression with the need for structure. Let's get started. Now here's where it gets interesting, the realm of dreams. They're not just random events, they're whispers from your subconscious, often filled with creative sparks and potential spiritual connections. Think about a time you had a vivid dream, perhaps one where you were soaring through the sky or finding yourself in a mysterious place. Did you ever wonder what it meant? These dreams can be keys to unlocking hidden desires, fears, and even spiritual insights. But wait, there's a catch: these flights of fancy can sometimes lead to escapism. That's why we also need structure. Think of it as the strong foundation that allows you to build a stable house. Responsibility, boundaries, and a grounded understanding of reality, this is the bedrock you need to thrive. So, what happens when these seemingly opposing forces, dreams and responsibility, collide? That's where the real magic happens, but it needs a little bit of structure. Have you ever considered how your own internal landscape impacts the relationships around you? We'll come back to that. First, let's explore idealism versus pragmatism. Idealism is about the beautiful visions of what could be, but it is sometimes detached from what is. Pragmatism, on the other hand, is about making things work, focusing on the practical aspects of life. How do you handle situations where you want to do X, but are forced to do Y? Consider an example: a musician wants to create art for the masses, but struggles with the commercial aspect. Or how about a writer who wants to write from the heart, but must accept editing and revisions? And then there's emotional expression. It's the lifeblood of creativity, connection, and growth. Yet it's also a tricky thing to navigate, as excessive emotional expression can hinder responsibility. Think of it like a river, beautiful and powerful, but can also cause floods if not controlled. So, how can we balance these? How do we allow ourselves to feel deeply without letting those feelings overwhelm us? To do so, we must understand our own values. In the spirit of spiritual growth, consider the value you are willing to express. What brings you joy? What feels sacred to you? We can use these values to set boundaries, to create a routine, and to incorporate mindfulness. Let's also incorporate mindfulness, bringing us back to the beginning, that we may see those dreams. Next, let's talk about the powerful bonds that tie us to others. Consider the impact of synastry charts, those maps of relationship potential. These reveal not only the good, the bad, and the potential, but also reveal how we might grow through shared challenges and goals. Now, here's something I find particularly intriguing: the concept of the seventh house in astrology. It represents partnerships, the people you are most closely associated with, the people you have built bonds with. This could be romantic relationships, friendships, or even family dynamics. But what happens when dreams and reality collide within these dynamics? The key is shared purpose. Do you and your partner share a vision of the future? Are you working towards goals that uplift both of you? This is when your relationship becomes a conduit for mutual growth. Let's say you're in a creative field and are interested in spiritual professions or service-oriented careers. How can you make the most of the challenges and opportunities in your life? Here is where identifying your core values matters, because it's time to start building trust. Show respect for yourself and the people around you through open communication. Then, establish healthy boundaries. In this context, what does it look like to incorporate mindfulness? It's about prioritizing self-care and, if possible, seeking out a mentor who can guide you. Now, I see a comment. This is so inspiring, one viewer writes. I'm ready to take action, but I don't know where to start. Well, let's break that down. Consider the impact of conjunctions, squares, and trines in your relationship charts. These represent different aspects of the relationship: how the relationships are supported, trines, how the relationship is challenged, squares, and where they are intimately tied together, conjunctions. Now, here's a question for you. Are you willing to learn and grow from the people in your life? And how do you respond when boundaries are crossed? Let's say a family member asks you to take on responsibilities you cannot hold. Setting clear boundaries is a practice in and of itself. But it is not easy. It may take time and practice, but it is worth it. I also see another comment: this all sounds great in theory, but how do I actually do it? Building a foundation of trust, showing respect, and open communication are key, but it won't be perfect overnight. Trust can be rebuilt by taking initiative, by being responsible, and by sticking to your word. Think about the impact of societal expectations and generational influences on your dreams and relationships. Sometimes, we are told that certain romantic expectations must be met, and that is the only path to happiness. This is where deception, escapism, and overly romanticized expectations can become detrimental. It's important to distinguish between a healthy dream and a destructive one. It is important to recognize and address any inclinations to escapism, especially in the form of addictions or unhealthy coping mechanisms. The question then becomes: are your expectations aligned with your values, or are they rooted in societal pressures? And now for my final question for you: can you distinguish between dreams that empower you and dreams that lead you astray? But wait, there's still more. If you feel like you are not living up to your potential, you're probably going through a period of self-doubt, which is normal. Consider creative fields, spiritual professions, or even financial sectors. Now, I have one final tidbit for you. What if you could learn even more about the power of your subconscious mind? In conclusion, you are on a journey to bring your dreams into reality. It's about balancing your subconscious with the structure of responsibility, and it's a lifelong process. By understanding the dance between your inner world and the world around you, you gain the ability to navigate life's challenges with grace, resilience, and wisdom. You'll find a deeper connection with yourself, your relationships, and the world. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the intersection of dreams, responsibility, and spiritual growth, be sure to hit that subscribe button. On this channel, we'll be exploring more spiritual insights, uncovering the mysteries of your subconscious, and helping you create a life that's both meaningful and fulfilling. We'll explore the impact of conjunctions, squares, and trines on your relationships and much more. We're all in this together.